From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down. These two teams met at MetLife Stadium earlier this year with the Giants winning that one. So they're looking for another win here at MetLife Stadium to take the season series 2-zip. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. And they'll go for it. Lance. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Giants get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up, and they gave the touchdown that was just given up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Lance. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. Finding space at the 40. He's still on his feet. 20. A big play there on the catch and run. 66 yards. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4. Here we go on 4th down. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And this Giants defense able to come up with a goal line stand. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 74 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The Giants in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they coming off their very first loss of the season, suffered a week ago.
So now we can all take that chasing the 1972 Dolphins and take it and throw it right out the window, right? But let's face it, not many teams talk about that or even have interest in it. All they want to do right now is bounce back after that loss.
Touchdown, Giants! And that CD, one heck of a run. He just refused to go down.
And that's where determination comes in, because he had at least a couple of guys had really good shots at him, but he just said, I don't think so. Speed, power, elusiveness, all on display right there. Look like you, partner, back in your solid days in Evansville.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Lance now on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And Lance now to throw. His throw incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A handoff as they run the counter play. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and the Giants are going to take over in great field position. A handoff, Barkley running left, and he gets this to the 35, good for a gain of 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second down, here's Barkley again.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 139 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Again, it's Barkley. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Up the middle with Barkley. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the 8.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. His throw caught at about the 5. Touchdown, Giants. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Lutz with the extra point. And the rout is on here in this first half. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lance. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Kayvon Thibodeaux, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Barkley, inside handoff. And he's got some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Now Jones. This one is Slayton over the middle. And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Another try for Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Throwing Jones. Rolling to his right. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Daniel Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Giants would extend their lead here just before halftime. What's good on the extra point? And the rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Well, Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Julian Love picks it, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick 6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
On second down, here's Barkley. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. On first down, Lance. Thomas brings it in. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Lance. Buying time. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. And with that, they're down to 1 remaining here in this second half. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. To throw, it's Lance. Under pressure, they got him again. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So, boy, that's already the 3rd they burned here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the 4th quarter. Here's Lance to throw it. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. They do go for it. Lance. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. That was a pretty good job by the defense, I thought, right? I mean, they had to go to their check down, but still were able to get it done for the first.
Agreed. Anytime you can force them to come back to a receiver that's a little bit shorter in the route, you've done your job on defense, but still, they pick up the 1st down and get a fresh set.
Huge 4th down conversion. Lance now on 1st down. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Lance. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill in for a loss.
On 3rd and long, it's Lance. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
3rd quarter from MetLife Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 181 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
A handoff to Barkley. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Here's a give to Barkley. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 28. Now Saquon Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. This offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. It's Barkley on the counter. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. On 4th down, Jones. Dancing to his left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance slings this deep from McLaurin. This is caught inside the touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Sly is up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Desperation time here. Lance. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Landon Collins. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The tight end in motion right. Running again with Barkley on second down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. The 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Lance. Out to the flat here for Johnson. And he's got room. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here, but it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
And I'm okay with that, Cleve.
And this is going to be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And still a little bit of time left, but the defense can't stop the clock, so 3 kneel downs should be enough to finish this one off. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll go to Barkley again. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Running left, it's Barkley. Gets through, and now an opening. The 30. And he's going to get this all the way down to Washington's 21-yard line. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And Pat, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Giants, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Washington, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia.
going there like deposit. You don't really brag about it when you know you got it. Real hard to read a nigga hooked on phonics. Say a lot of things and never catch like Sonic. Zoom, I'm gone. When the members on, I get it going Donkey Kong. They got the $100, will you give a dog a bone? I'm like, oh no, you gotta get it on your own. They get an attitude, I'm like, you better check your tone. They ain't got no job, need someone to take her home. I hop up in the car and whip like Indiana Jones. Going George Lucas, now I'm out here killing clones. Coming in strong like, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party when I come to time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Everybody wanna kill the king, like shit, wanna take the crown. I can see through it like a stomach with a other sign. When I hit the gas, I be going like 100 miles. They be getting tired, running out like 100 house. All up in my business, real nose like a bloodhound. I'ma throw them off like I'm standing on a picture mound. All they do is look at Instagram while they sit around. Hate me in real life, but you liking pictures now. Oh, everybody acting different now. Finally trying to see what I be on. Got a different style, they be at the brand new when they know I've been around. Got a fake smile on your face cause you been inclined. I can say a lot, but I'm not. Gotta keep it down, making sure nobody drown. I'm my brother, keep it now. Mike Jack hit me up and said I gotta beat it down. Turn me up when I'm on your speaker now. Cool, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party when I come to time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Yeah, you in the league, but you ain't hooping around and tear you out. Before you judge me, you need to go and wipe the mirror off. Try to turn me down, only thing you do is veer off. Showing fake love, I can tell it once I see it all. I just stay cool, acting like it wasn't weird at all. Most of the people that you meet are not who they appear at all. If you want on top, then you wouldn't hear it cheer at all. But I ain't got no top, I don't need a chandelier at all. I ain't got no time cause I be really out my mind. When the hate don't work, I guarantee they get the line. They all talk dog, it's a room full of brines. I'm royalty, that means that it's in my bloodline. All hail the king, made the president resign. And if I'm not the king, then I'm making doves cry. I'm stepping on the scene like I never did reply. I ain't gotta justify, I'm cool. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party when I come to time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out.
about her. Petty, don't matter. Far as that teller, I pray to God they rat-a-tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should've been to prison. Don't boy remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I work a plan now. Can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. Say, what you talking? Talking that funky. Get about my face, wearing that monkey. We not that. That might give you life advice. Get some money. 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 It's the paper power pastor, burning rubber faster than a call NASCAR. My solo no sir, I am not a passer. I will not after any of you fever blistered. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. What you talking that funky, about my face, wearing that monkey, not that, that might give you life advice.